Hello everyone. We are going to talk about the graphs, writing about the graphs. So this is task 1 of IELTS academic where you are supposed to write about a graph or a picture given to you. Now, what is the difference between task 1 and task 2? We have to understand that first. As far as task 1 is concerned, you are supposed to write very precisely. But in task 2, you are supposed to write in an elaborated and explanatory fashion. Yeah, so here you are supposed to write very precisely. As we discussed earlier with regard to essays also, the key to success in writing is to learn the right templates and to practice them, right? So there are different types of questions, like you may get pictures, you may get graphs. Under graphs also, you may get line graph, pie chart, bar chart. On the pictures also, there might be just one picture which shows a cycle of events, like, you know, manufacturing clothes from cotton. So first cotton is sewn and then the raw cotton is used to make clothes. There are certain steps involved, so you have to talk about a cycle. Or it could be a comparison between two pictures. So before the construction or introduction of tourist facilities, after introduction of tourist facilities, what kind of changes have taken place? Those kind of questions would be depicted in the form of pictures, and you are supposed to talk only about the most important points that you see in that particular picture, right? You're supposed to learn the standard verbiage, like there was a dramatic rise or a moderate rise or a little increase, right? Similarly, templates for the body of the graph. As I said earlier, for all these different points, there are tutorials, there are recorded answers. What you have to do is you have to go through them once and rewrite 3 to 4 answers after looking at the standard or the model answers, right? So actually you are following the footsteps or the trails of the right practices, right? So when you rewrite an essay or a graph, you get to understand how you should implement, how you should write your own graph and essays in the right manner. So instead of writing all by yourself, the first, during the initial phases, you should follow a template, follow the models given to you to write your graph or to write your essays, right? How should you organize your information? First of all, talk about whatever 2 3 things which increase. Let's say you're talking about 6 variables. Out of 6 variables, two increased. Let's say you're talking about the real estate prices of, let's say, 6 cities: Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Indore, and let's say Bhopal. So let's say Mumbai, Delhi, and Kolkata showed an increase in the house prices. So you'll talk about the increase first, right? Let's say Chennai and Hyderabad showed a steady pattern, right? So you'll talk about these two studies, cities were showed a steady pattern, and let's say the population or the house prices decreased in Indore. So you'll talk about decrease at last. So like this, you should organize your information, right? I gave, I actually changed the sequence. First talk about the increase, then talk about the decrease, then talk about something which remains steady, right? So that's how you should organize your information and talk about big changes. You are not supposed to describe and write about every small point. You are supposed to select the most important information and present that information alone. And that's why we call that you are supposed to prioritize information. Talk about big changes first and small changes later in case needed, right? And at the end, you write to summarize and you summarize the whole graph. So in this tutorial, we have just given you an overview. There are other tutorials, a set of graphs of different types: pie charts, line chart, graph chart. It is given there in the form of standard answers as well as tutorials which would be provided to you along with the course. You're supposed to use book 8 for the purpose of developing your answers, and then book 9 for taking your own test. So to summarize, you're supposed to write 150 to 180 words Select the most important information and present that, right? Leave the minor points. It is not lead, leave the minor points. Stay within the scope of discussion. You are not supposed to add any story on your own in task one. Whatever is described, as a matter of fact, you are just supposed to present that information. And the best way to develop your writing skills is by stealing like an artist. Okay? Learn the templates, learn the structures and implement them. Don't learn one question, learn the template, and then you can use that template to write your own answer. All the best to you. Thank you so much.